At least 29 people have been killed and over 30 others injured in an explosion in Pakistan. This comes just a day ahead of the country's elections. The blast occurred outside an independent candidate party's office in Balochistan's Pishin. The Election Commission of Pakistan has taken notice of the blast and summoned a report from Balochistan Chief Secretary and Inspector General Police. Of the 31 injured, 6 are in critical condition. The Palestinian militant group Hamas has proposed a fresh ceasefire plan. The plan would pause the ongoing war in Gaza for about 135 days. According to Hamas, during the ceasefire, all the hostages would be freed. Israel would withdraw its troops from the Gaza Strip, and further Israel and Hamas would try to reach an agreement to end the war. The proposal comes in response to a truce offer sent by Qatari and Egyptian mediators. There hasn't been any immediate comment from Israel, which is firm on its decision not to remove its army from Gaza until they have freed the city of Hamas. A joint integrated food security phase classification and wild food program report has stated that more than 500,000 people in Gaza are facing catastrophic hunger conditions. The IPC, which also analyzes data to determine the seriousness and scale of hunger crises, alongside the WFP, has stated that levels of acute food insecurity in Gaza is unprecedented in recent history. Babies, young children and their parents are most affected, as diapers and formula are hard to find or are spiking to unaffordable prices, forcing parents to look to inadequate or even unsafe alternatives. Iran has recently introduced a visa waiver program for Indian tourists, allowing them to enter the country for tourism purposes without a visa for up to 15 days, effective February 4th. However, there are conditions. Indian citizens with ordinary passports can enjoy visa-free entry once every 6 months for a maximum stay of 15 days, which cannot be extended. This privilege applies strictly to tourism purposes and only for those entering Iran by air. Should Indians desire a longer stay or multiple entries within 6 months, they must obtain a visa. An Indian origin student has been found dead in the United States, marking the 5th such case within a month. The student's body was found in a nature preserve in Indiana. The Warren County Coroner's Office identified the 23-year-old student as Samir Kamath. A U.S. citizen, Kamath had completed his master's degree in mechanical engineering in August 2023 from Indiana's Purdue University. A federal appeals court has ruled that former President Donald Trump is not immune from prosecution and can be tried on charges related to conspiring to overturn the 2020 election. Rejecting Trump's claim of immunity from criminal liability for actions taken while in office, the appeals court stated that such a stance would undermine the system of separated powers. Trump plans to file another appeal criticizing the decision. The appeals court has temporarily suspended the immunity ruling to allow Trump to appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, which will ultimately decide whether to hear the case or not. Texas-based LifeCall, led by Walter Monk, has been implicated in a fraudulent robocall incident mimicking President Joe Biden's voice. He is accused of trying to dissuade voters from supporting him in New Hampshire's primary election. Attorney General John Formella said that a cease and desist letter has been dispatched to the company and a criminal investigation is underway to address the matter. Emphasizing the importance of preserving the integrity of elections, Formella highlighted that the robocall suspected to utilize artificial intelligence poses a threat to the fairness of New Hampshire's Democratic primary election. U.S. Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs Assistant Secretary Todd Robinson outlined joint efforts with the Peruvian government against the drug trade. Robinson emphasized U.S. backing for regional anti-narcotics initiatives, including an aerial interception program and support for police training. He highlighted the need for Peru's Congress to approve an agreement on intercepting drug planes in the Peruvian Amazon. The recent agreement focuses on non-lethal interception methods to persuade suspected drug trafficking aircraft to land or leave Peruvian airspace. Robinson also discussed a $3.3 million project aimed at training police in areas of the Andes. China's Transport Ministry has predicted approximately 9 billion trips this Lunar New Year season. Today and tomorrow, that is the 7th and 8th of February, are predicted to be the busiest days. Travel stations are anticipating to be bustling as individuals journey to reunite with family for the Spring Festival, a cherished occasion for family gatherings in China. However, harsh weather conditions, including snow and freezing rain, led to thousands of motorists being stranded on highways in central China. The snow has disrupted air, train and road travel during the yearly holiday rush. On his inaugural official trip since assuming leadership last year, Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Manet touched down in Bangkok. On his visit, he aims to strengthen the long-standing relationship between the two nations. Hun Manet is scheduled to engage in discussions with Thai Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin, hold an audience with King Maha Vajiralongkorn, oversee the signing of various agreements on bilateral collaboration. He'll also deliver a keynote address at the Thailand-Cambodia Business Forum. Papua New Guinea Prime Minister James Marape arrived in Australia for a 3-day visit. He is set to deliver an address to a joint sitting of Parliament on Thursday, marking the first time a foreign leader has been granted this opportunity since Indonesia's president in 2020. This is also the first instance of a Pacific Islands leader being given this honor. The ruling party in Argentina has decided to end the debate in the Chamber of Deputies, leaving the economic reform project of Argentine president in a legislative limbo. Opposition members and protesters active for the past week celebrated outside Congress the omnibus bill that covers a wide array of areas received general approval previously, but individual articles await specific endorsement, leaving the fate of the reform uncertain. Ahead of June elections, European Commission has unveiled a plan for the EU to significantly reduce its net greenhouse gas emissions by 90% by the year 2040. This initiative is part of the EU's ambitious goal to become the first climate-neutral continent globally. The proposal outlines a historic target wherein the bloc aims to emit 90% fewer planet heating gases by 2040 compared to its emissions in 1990. accounting for both emissions and carbon removal from the atmosphere. At least 131 people have been killed as Chile battles its deadliest wildfires in recent history. According to experts, the primary driver behind the wildfires is the increasing temperatures exacerbated by the occurrence of high winds, which are typical during the summer months in central Chile. They add that the usual phenomenon has been intensified due to rising temperatures over the decades. Chilean former President Sebastián Piñera passed away at the age of 74 in a helicopter accident on Tuesday. His legacy in the South American nation, marked by both acclaim and criticism, spans a multifaceted career as an economist, entrepreneur, and politician. Despite his financial success, he faced mixed reviews during his presidency from 2010 to 2014 and again from 2018 to 2022. His tenure was marked by frequent protests, notably the high-profile rescue of trapped miners in 2010, which garnered global attention. In the West German city of Cologne, over 20 comic floats featuring world leaders will take center stage in the annual Carnival Parade. The parade this year will address political and social relevant issue. Notable caricatures include Russian President Vladimir Putin, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and Iran Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei will be sharing a float. Taiwanese electronics major Foxconn has invited bids for construction of a chip assembly and testing plant in India to be set up in partnership with HCL Group. Foxconn, the world's largest assembler of iPhones and other electronics, is expanding in India as geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainty begin to disrupt its primary operations in China. Reports suggest WeWork founder Adam Neumann is trying to buy back the flexible workspace provider that filed for bankruptcy in November last year. It also added that Neumann's new real estate company Flow Global has sought to buy WeWork or its assets, as well as provide bankruptcy financing to keep it afloat. Under Neumann, WeWork grew to be the most valuable US startup worth $47 billion. Snap Inc.'s shares nosedived 31% in after-hours trading after the company missed revenue expectations in December and forecast a wider-than-expected loss for the March quarter. The social media company posted adjusted earnings per share of 8 cents compared to 14 cents in the year-ago period. Revenue came in at $1.36 billion, up 4.7% year-over-year, but below the consensus estimates of $1.38 billion. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.